What are you recording? Hmm. Ooh, hello there. Damn, she a cutie. Ooh.
Well, that's funny. I was totally about to hop in on the other Discord. Let's see how well this works. So I have my backup smartphone, the cheapy one, running as a camera, and my expensive one that I put money down and paid it off over the course of like a year or so. I have as my backup monitor. This thing gets like 2000 by 10,000 resolution for a secondary monitor, and that's pretty chill. So I have Discord open on my.
And I just got a tablet at this point for a monitor.
Well, I do have a tablet, but that thing's like 10 years old. I don't think it could handle the processing necessity of like a monitor, because my laptop can handle any video game you toss at it. But I have Discord up on my smartphone, so now I can see what's happening in like the Discord channel that I'm at while I'm doing other shit. I could be looking at porn right now.
Hell yeah.
Unlikely.
What kind? What kind?
I switch between drawn porn and people.
Same here, dude.
I go from doujinshis to actual movie clips that range from like 15 minutes to like an hour, and I skip in between the sequences.
Yeah, I guess skip all the boring bullshit, get to the good stuff. Hell yeah. Dude, you remember those old days where you had to wait until midnight to watch porn on those late night channels, and then even then you had to wait through all the bullshit and commercials to get to the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dark times, am I right?
I guess. So I've been looking into it, and like the bare minimum money you need to invest in a camera for it to be of reasonable quality is about $100 to $200. If you shop around, you can get like $150 model for like $100, depending on where they're on sale and who's just selling it cheaper. But for like $150, you can get yourself a camera that you can use as a workhorse. I mean, you'd eventually need to upgrade, but if you're like starting off as streaming in one way or another, like you only really need to invest like $150 in a camera, which is good to know because that's a fairly cheap investment and a doable investment.
I'd recommend. Get you get a camera after this corona shit is done. You might need the money later.
Well, at the current moment, I have about $100 worth of spending cash every time I get money in. Now, for sure, I could and should save it, but like I have about $100 that I can save or use, and I'd rather not be using my or either smartphone as a camera. I mean, it will work for a few months, but if you use it for like a year or 2 years, it really does prematurely age the phone. So doing this,
I don't know, dude. I'd rather save that money. You do realize how many how much ramen noodles you can buy for $100? Like, bro.
for $100, I could feed myself on meat, starches, and vegetables quite nicely for about 2 weeks or so. So I'm well acquainted with how much value you can get out of $100. That's also
how many burgers can you get for that in?
I don't fucking know.
A McDonald's or something. How much is one of those basic ass like burgers cost?
I don't know. I don't eat out. I mean, like if I have an overflow of cash in my checking account and savings account, I'll eat out, but that's rarely.
Yeah.
I usually, like 99% of the time, cook food at home. It's cheaper and healthier.
I heard that's why a lot of like homeless people are sometimes fat, because what little money they have, they spend on cheap food like that just makes them fat.
Homeless people
Would you look at that? The citizens of Yulemore engaging in what can only be described as manual labor. Who would have thought it possible? Do you know the most reliable way to deal with those who stubbornly refuse to see reason? You conquer them, crush them under heel. Such was the trusted method of Alec, and one still favored by Garlemald. But conquest is the easy part. The true challenge begins once the dust has settled, quenching the glowing embers of animosity and maintaining a semblance of peace. This requires the conqueror to treat the conquered with dignity, and the conquered to let bygones be bygones, a difficult feat to achieve. But you have achieved just that, to my considerable surprise. It's a compliment. Take it. Ah, the vibrant energy that fills the air when like-minded souls gather. To think back on that time before time, fair brings a tear to the eye. What? You thought ancient beings like us incapable of crying? Well, rest assured that if your heart can be broken, then so can mine. Back when the world was whole, we had family, friends, loves. Men knew peace and contentment, and with our adamant souls, we could live for an age. There was no conflict born of want or disparity. Our differences paled into insignificance next to all we had in common. And then there was Amarant. Never was a city more magnificent. From the humblest streets to the highest spires, she fairly gleamed. Not that you would remember any of this. Never mind. The point is, the world of old was a far better place than what we have now. I believe you would like it, having witnessed the things you have. Remember, you are of the source. Unlike the half-men here, you stand only to gain. Should you survive the remaining calamities, you will become our equal, a complete existence in a complete world. But such talk is a pleasure for later. Back to work, hero. Ah, there was one thing I had meant to ask. How well do you know the Exarch? Has he ever deigned to show you what hides beneath the cowl? What? Never? Even to you? How very interesting. I shall enjoy working out what it means. Until next time.
I knew you could do it, dearest. I never doubted you for a moment.
It's alive. I don't know if you remember, but when we first met in this world, I was all but spent. I never thought to wonder why until now. think it had all just got to be too much. The guilt of causing the flood. Knowing everyone hated me. But the worst thing was the solitude. Time wears you down, aye. But solitude eats away at you. It was this close to finishing me off. But as bad as it got, and as empty as I felt, I can't even begin to imagine what it must be like for Emmett Selk. All of which is a long way of saying, don't make a choice that leaves you alone. Nothing is worth that. Especially not eternity.
Glad tidings, my friend. The ladder lives again.
The three of us have been invited to do the honors. Are you up for it? Of course, if you're worried that the whole thing might come crashing down, we can always find someone else. That's the spirit. Come on then.
We rode the ladder too, my comrades and I. Once upon a time. Watched the horizon grow, and the town shrink below us. Awed and terrified in equal measure. We ascended without a word, the silence broken only by the rhythm of the gears. No one but me remembers that day. Remembers our journey and our end. Retread the path. Seek, and you may yet find.